every day the way I operate is totally different, and it's not about the product for me as much as it is about the process. And what I mean about the process saved my life. You see, my mother had me when she was 15 years old, right? Over on the east side of Atlanta, we came up in this neighborhood by the name of Kirkwood, drug dealer on every corner, gang members in the neighborhood, 2-bedroom home, 14 people, used to sleep on the floor. Got the opportunity to sleep in the bed one time out of the week. It was 6 of us in the bed, 3 at the foot, 3 at the head. And I came up with this dream pretty quick. I said, man, I want to go to the NFL because I had 8 uncles in that house, all 8 of which are still going in and out of prison. And so pretty quick, I said, man, I want to go to the NFL. And so I went to my big cousin tomorrow one night. I said, man, listen, I want to go to the NFL. And so we got to work for this thing. So the thing we're going to do every night, we're going to be patient. We're going to engage in consistent action. Every night, we're going to race light pole to light pole with no shoes. So every night we would get out on the street, race light pole to light pole. One night, a coach came down the street. He signed me and my cousins up for organized sports, right? First time being in organized sports. We get in organized sports. The thing was, after practice, everybody would leave to go home. And I always had to sit on the bench and wait on my mother because she worked at Wendy's. And so when my mother would show up in the park, it would be about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. So I'm sitting there, and when my mother would pull up, she drove an old Buick Regal, hubcaps off the car, seats torn up, the car was all beat up. And she would pull up in the park 10:30 at night. I would jump off the bench. I would sprint over to my mother. I would say, Mom, if you don't mind, can you please sit back in your car and turn on your car lights? I have to do some extra drills. I have to go to the NFL. She would never have to work another day in your life. And I knew my mother was tired. And every night, my mother would sit back in that car, and those car lights would hit that field. And he had a 7-year-old kid doing backpedaling drills, running sprints, running laps, chasing his dream to go to the NFL. But just beyond those car lights, I could always connect with my mother's eyes. So it made me dig a little bit deeper. It made me push myself a little bit further. It made me work a little bit harder. It created a certain level of sweat equity in what I was doing. It created a certain level of pride in what I was doing. You know why people quit? People don't have pride in what they do. You know why people stop? They're selfish, and it's just about them. But when you have a bigger purpose to why you're doing what you're doing, and you want to honor the sacrifices that others have made for you, it's nothing for you to keep going when you hit adversity. If every decision and choice you make is just about you, at a certain point you're going to hit something that's a lot tougher than you, and it's going to make you quit because you don't have a driving force for why you do what you do. But when I got up to
realize that the people that go after things and stuff usually don't become massively successful. I discovered that those people who were successful, what they all had in common was they got to the core. So I need you to do me a huge favor. I'm about to say something to you, and I need you to go with me, right? And this has absolutely nothing to do with religion. Somebody asked me about my faith when we were in the VIP. Listen to me, this has nothing to do with religion, right? But my life changed when I joined the church, right? Please hear me. And what happened when I joined the church is that they introduced me to these things called the 10 Commandments. And what was crazy about the 10 Commandments, crazy, y'all, that's how I blew up. And what the commandments did for me was, it gave me a set of core values that I never had before. I'm not big time. I'm no better than you. We all the same. We all got vices. We all got struggles. We all got stuff we dealing with. So when listen to me, I don't know, I was 17 years old, joined the church. All I know is when I got those commandments, guess what it did for me? It gave me, I was traveling with no direction. And all of a sudden, now I got some core values to live by. The reason why some of you can't blow up is because you have no you don't operate from your values. You operate from money. You operate from your feelings. You operate from stuff. You don't understand why you can't get to the next level because you don't have a value system, and people know you weak and you don't stand for nothing, and that's why they don't want to associate with you. That's why when they go to the next level, they're not trying to take you with them. So I'm telling you, if you want to blow up, you need core values. My core values say you're smarter than me, but you will not outwork me, which is why I get up at 1:30, 2 o'clock. For real, do me a favor, principles over feelings. It's not about how I feel. What's the principle? How many of you right now, let's just be 100. I want you to be real with me. How many of you can say in this room, E.T., I've not mastered that yet. I'm still like, my feelings get the best of me, and I'm not, like, my principles don't reign supreme. I must be honest and say I'm being led by my feelings a lot of times. We're going to fix that, right? Make a vow to me. It's not hard. We're going to fix that. Because once you go with your principles over your feelings, you're going to be good. Like, I don't really get into boxing now, but Mayweather